Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome. If it is your first time here, I'm V Coles and this is my space. Come on, let's go. Today we're going to be doing a black owned brand makeup tutorial, and I'm really excited about it because I'm black. Let's go. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is moisturize our lips. I'm going to be using the Fenty Luscious lip balm. Fenty is a black owned brand. Rihanna does own a portion of the brand. This balm, guys, if you have not tried this balm, please try it. It is so good and it smells so good, and it's also really moisturizing. Like, it's really, really good. They did a great job with this formula. Like, it's so cute on the lip. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is our brows. I'm gonna be using the Fenty Brow MVP in the shade dark brown. Now, if you follow my channel, if you're subscribed, hi. If you follow me, hey. If you have not subscribed and you don't follow me, what are you waiting for? But the reason I'm saying this is because you guys know I don't get my brows professionally done. So all I really do is I shape it using a brown pencil, and then I clean it up with concealer. So that's what you guys are basically gonna watch me do. I do have a very detailed tutorial on how I do it. My technique is very much the same. I don't grow brow hair, so I don't do my brows. I just don't. I'm just like, nothing is growing and I don't want to take anything away. So we're just gonna speed this whole process up. I'm gonna be using the Juvia's Place concealer in the number 6 to clean up my brows. Juvia's Place is also a black owned brand. So we're gonna use that really quickly just to snatch up the brows, and I'm gonna go in and fill it in with the same Fenty pencil. Was I also went ahead and I put concealer on my lid, simply because I'm going to be using that concealer as the base for my eyeshadows, which is the next step after I finish my brows. So we're going to go ahead right now. We're just going to set all of that in with my black Opal powder in the shade medium, and this is their soft velvet finishing powder. So this powder, I never used it before. When I decided I wanted to do a video that focused on black owned brands, I realized that majority of the black owned brands I owned were Fenty and then Juvia's Place. I also own a Haitian black owned brand called Zanana Beauty, which we're going to use today also. But I realized, hey, I don't own enough where I can, like, you know, use a different product or something that's a little just not mainstream already. You get what I'm trying to say? So I definitely went to my local Walmart and I purchased some of the black Opal products. This brand is a brand that I grew up on. Like, my mom always used it when we were kids. She absolutely loves, like, their lipsticks. And one of my sisters loves this brand also. So I was like, you know what? Let me try this brand out since you've never really tried it before. And what I will say is I am pleasantly surprised by their product. For these powders, they have like multiple shades. I ended up buying 2. I got the shade dark, and then I also got the shade medium, and I just love the colors, and we're gonna be using them again later on. So all I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna go in and just fill in my brows. When it comes to my brows, I like when you can see like little holes through it, because for me, I feel like that looks more natural. But definitely do your brows the way you like to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like because naturally I don't have a lot of brow hairs, I don't like to go in and create the thickest, most filled in, darkest brow. I feel like when I first started doing my makeup, that's something I would do, like have like a very thick brow. It would just look like I like literally used a marker and just created a really cute brow. But through the years, as I've gotten older and I've realized, V, you don't really have that much brow hair, I just kind of just been going for like a more spaced out brow look, and I absolutely love it. For my eyes, we will be using this eyeshadow palette by the Lip Bar. These eyeshadow palettes to me are so freaking cute. I got mine from Target. I believe you can get it from Target, or you can actually order off of their website. And this is the Ebony Eyes eyeshadow palette. This comes in like multiple different versions. I feel like there's 4 different color stories for this type of eyeshadow palette that they offer, and I just wanted to show you guys the packaging because I feel like it's so compact and it's so cute. You open it, this is how big it is. Isn't this just adorable? Because you can literally just throw it in your bag and be out. So I love it so much. Let me show you guys the colors. I already played in it a little bit because I was so excited. So this is what the colors look like. You get 4 shades, and what they do is they curated the shades to work for women of color. So while this is a black owned brand, she made sure that all of her shades could work on women of different skin tones, but if you happen to be, you know, darker, your skin tone is a lot richer, and you struggle with eyeshadows, I would definitely check this brand out, because there's 4 different versions of this, and each different version has different color stories, and they are supposed to be able to work for all dark skinned women. But it's super cute, it's super compact, and then when you open it, right, you open it and then you get your mirror, and then there's a little brush right here. Ooh. The thing about this palette, I believe it's supposed to be like a quick on-the-go palette, easy breezy. It costs $10 and you get 4 shades, so you're not overwhelmed. I feel like if you're someone that, you know, finds eyeshadows overwhelming, where you're like, damn, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to begin, start with little palettes like this. These are the type of palettes you want to buy, because what they do is they're introducing you to colors that all work together, so you don't have to like overthink the process. You just have to kind of throw the shades onto your eyes. And what I also noticed about the packaging is when you look at the back, like there's literally instructions of how you can create a look, and it literally is detailed, it's easy to understand. And if you buy this and you're like, damn, I don't even know where to begin, they got you. They literally tell you how to do a look, how to achieve a very simple look using all of the shades in this little palette. Guys, I'm the worst at swatches, but I feel like the pigments are there. So let me just swirl it and just show you guys what I mean. So it comes with 1 metallic shade, and that's this shade right here. And then it gives you like 2 shimmer shades, which are these 2 right here, which are really cute. And then you get a matte shade, which you can use as a crease color. Like this is literally the perfect crease color for any woman of color, I want to say any woman in general. The other palettes, depending on the color stories, their crease colors are a little lighter. This was, I believe, the darkest crease color that they had. And I absolutely really love it. It's like a reddish brown color, which I really, really like in my crease. So we're gonna go ahead and pop that in first. And guys, this is very pigmented. Like, this is a very pigmented palette. Very. You're gonna see what I mean. So, I'm gonna just pop that in there. Do you see that? Do you see what I mean? Like, that pigment is there, and it's $10 and you're getting pigment. So all I'm really gonna do is just kind of pop this on my lid. I'm gonna create like a very simple look with this palette, because I feel like the thing about eyeshadow palettes that have 4 shades or 5 shades, to me, they're for creating simple looks, on-the-go looks. They're not for really doing like those extreme intricate looks, and that's kind of how I feel about them. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. But if you were to buy it and you really want to create like an extremely cut crease look, go for it, because you can definitely do that with a palette like this. It's super cute, super affordable, and the quality is definitely there, which is what you want. Then I'm gonna grab a blending brush, and we're just gonna go along the edges and just buff that out. I didn't add any product because I just want to kind of buff it out first, and then if I need to add product, I will. This shade right here, I love this shade. I just think it's such a pretty shade. With this shade, I'm just gonna go ahead and really just focusing it from the inner corner to like halfway into my eye. So we're just gonna do that. And then using the opposite side of the same brush, like you literally don't need a lot. We're gonna go into this shade right here, and we're gonna pop that from the middle going towards the outwards area. And I'm gonna go back into that first shade, and we're just gonna kind of like play with them to marry the shades and make them look like they just blended right into each other. So the final thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take that blending brush that we added no product on, and we're gonna just gently dab it into this. One time is fine because this is very pigmented, and we're just gonna go along the edges and just buff that in. Okay. So we're gonna go in now into primer, and to prime my face, I'm gonna be using this black Opal Invisible Oil Blocking Primer. Now, I'm nervous. I've never used this before. This is my first time ever trying it. The fact that it says oil blocking makes me nervous because I do have combination skin type, and lately my drier part tapping just very dry. So I'm using this, but I'm actually really nervous about it. So we're just gonna go ahead and just go for it. I'm sure it's gonna be fine, but you know, combination skin, you know, it's a little hard sometimes to maintain it. Yeah, feel me? The instructions for this primer says to let it dry down a little bit, so I'm gonna allow it just to absorb into my skin. And in the meantime, we're gonna take my Fenty Fly Liner in the shade Black, and we're just gonna do a cute little winged liner. Shake it up. It's my first time ever using this liner, so let's see. We're gonna go back into that black opal velvet setting powder in the shade medium, and I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this all on my face. Now this is something I would normally do with my Mercier powder, so I'm like, you know what, why not do it with this powder also? I love this shade, and I think it's gonna look really nice under my foundation, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and just apply it. Now we're gonna go into foundation. I'll be using the Black Opal True Color Pore Perfecting Liquid Foundation. I'm excited. This is my first time ever using this foundation. I didn't even know Black Opal made a liquid foundation until I went into Walmart and I saw it and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna do foundation out with this. But since I was already planning on filming a Black owned brand makeup tutorial, I said, you know what, I'm gonna use it in this makeup tutorial, but I'll also be uploading a foundation hunt tutorial about it where we're gonna go in depth and really talk about it and just compare the different shades that they do offer. So let me go ahead. I'm just gonna do one pump right here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm just doing one pump right here. And I'm gonna be using this little brush here, and we're gonna blend that into the skin. I'm now gonna take my beauty sponge and we're just gonna go over my face, just to make sure that everything is just smooth and even. For concealer, I'm going to use that Juvia's Place concealer we've been using throughout this tutorial. The reason I opted not to use like a Fenty concealer or anything is because I feel like the Fenty concealer to me looks best when I use it with the Fenty foundation. And that could just be all in my head. I don't know, but that's just how I feel about it. So I tend to use that pair together. Concealer, I actually have, like, I love this concealer. I don't feel like I use it as much as I should or as often as I should. I don't know why. But every time I use it, I absolutely love it. Like, I love the coverage it gives. I think I'm gonna like really make the effort to start using just this brand more. And honestly, one thing I will say is, like, I don't feel like I own enough Black owned makeup brands. You know what I mean? And I know why that is. It's because for me, it's because I'm like such an instant gratification person. Like, I like to walk into Sephora and get what it is that I need. You know what I mean? And the thing is, with a lot of Black owned brands, you do have to order, you do have to get it shipped to you. So this year, I'm really gonna challenge myself to buy more Black owned brands, not just makeup, but clothing, skincare, hair care. There's so many out there, and it's like, you know what? They generally appreciate your dollar and they want your customer service. So I'm really going to challenge myself to do that. So hopefully you guys out there will do it with me. But definitely, like, I challenge you, go through your makeup and let me in, just see how many Black owned brands do you really own in your makeup. You know what I mean? And it's not because you don't, you know, want to support Black owned brands, but sometimes it really is because of that instant gratification of being able to go into your Sephora and just to buy what's already there. So I'm gonna use a Fenty matchstick just to kind of do a little bit of contour. I'm definitely challenging myself moving forward to, you know, buy more black owned products. I'm just gonna use the same brush I use for my foundation to blend this out because I love the way this blends, and I don't necessarily feel like using a different brush. I'm just gonna use a black opal powder. I'm just gonna go ahead and set under my eye. I think I'm in love with this powder. Like, I love the shade, like the color of this powder. It's like, I'm obsessed with it. And this powder was only $10, I believe. Like, I'm obsessed with this shade. Okay, so I did not use a lot of the setting powder, so all I'm doing is just going over it with my sponge and just pushing it in. To set the contouring that I did, I'm just going to use my bronzer by Fenty to do this. Now, this is optional. You don't have to use, I mean, listen, we contoured and we're bronzing. Some people like to use like a powder to contour and then they'll go over it in bronze. You can do that, but it's makeup. You can have fun with it. So I'm going to be using the shade Cocoa Naughty, and we're just going to go over that and just pat that in there like that. Forehead. My favorite thing to do is bronze my forehead, guys. I just love the shadows you can create on your forehead. I don't know why that makes me happy, but it really does. So I'm gonna go in now with a different setting powder by Black Opal in the shade Dark, and we're just gonna use that just to kind of go over my entire face, just to set my face fully in there so nothing moves. I'm gonna go back into my powder in the shade Medium. I'm just gonna take a little bit and we're just gonna carve out underneath. I don't typically do this very often, but I kind of feel like I want to do it today, so we're just gonna go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna use this brush right here. It's nice and fluffy, and we're just gonna go along that. I'm gonna go back into my Lip Bar eyeshadow palette, and I'm just gonna take, I wanna say this color, and we're just gonna go ahead and apply it underneath. And we're gonna apply it like literally directly to the waterline, as very close as possible. And I'm gonna go underneath that with the brown shade that was in the palette, and we're just gonna apply it right underneath the pinkish shimmery shade that we used. So it's almost gonna look like we smoked it out a little bit. For blush, I'm gonna be using the Xana Beauty blush. This is a Haitian-owned brand. I've actually featured them on my channel a couple of times. This is what the shade looks like. I absolutely love this blush. The only thing is it's extremely pigmented. I mean, like, pigmented. So if you decide to check this brand out and to order this blush, trust me, you want to be very light-handed with this blush because it gives you pigment on top of pigment on top of pigment on top of pigment. Okay, so I'm gonna use my beauty blender. Lately I've been using my beauty blenders to apply blush. I just like the way it looks. It's just my preference as of lately, so I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it. I'm so nervous because it is so pigmented. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. I'm just gonna take some product off of my beauty blender using a makeup wipe. This blush is like, it's such a beautiful shade, guys, but it really is pigmented. And I'm just gonna now go in and just use my beauty blender to blend it in. So we're gonna go ahead now and line our lips. I'm gonna be using the Black Opal lip liner in the shade French Toast. It glides on really nicely, and I was not expecting that at all. I thought it was gonna kind of get a little dry, but it's actually really nice. This is actually $5, so for $5, it's definitely a great product. Feels really good on the lips. gonna use my finger just to blend everything in. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with a gloss. I'm gonna be using the Fenty Gloss Balm in the shade Sweet Mouth. I didn't want to wear lipstick today, so I was like, let me just stick with the gloss. So this is the final look. I think it came out really, really cute. This was actually really fun to film. Using all brands that are black owned is really dope. And also it really just, like I said throughout this tutorial, it really just challenged me and showed me that I need to make more of an effort to purchase brands that are black owned, because so many of them really do exist. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I will see you guys in my next upload. If you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Join my family here on YouTube. Let's have fun together. Don't forget to comment down below and let me know any black brands that you use. It does not have to be makeup. It could be clothing, whether it's food, just anything. Comment down below. You know, it's a great way just to allow other people to find different black owned brands that they can purchase from. I will see you guys in my next upload, and as always, love first. Bye, my babies.